All right, ready to dive into the world of host-hostessing? We're going to help you absolutely ace that interview.
It's all about prep, right? And we've got the inside scoop thanks to RoleCatcher's career and interview guides.
So whether you're picturing yourself in a buzzing airport or a swanky hotel lobby, this deep dive is your ticket to success.
And you know what's really interesting? These roles, they might seem entry level, but the skills you learn, transferable to like almost anything.
Communication, problem-solving, golden tickets.
Yeah.
But okay, let's break it down. What exactly does a host-hostess do?
Well, you're the first face people see. You're giving information, making sure things run smoothly. It's all about those first impressions.
And RoleCatcher's career guide paints a pretty diverse picture too. Airports, hotels, restaurants, events, you name it.
It's true. And a good hostess can turn like hesitation into a happy customer, and that's valuable anywhere.
For sure. And speaking of value, did you know tourism is booming? The career guide highlights a really positive employment outlook for these roles.
Yeah, it makes sense. More travel, more experiences, more need for hospitality pros. It's a growing field.
So you're not just landing a job, you're stepping into a career with real potential.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get real for a sec. The career guide does list some pros and cons.
Right. Flexible schedules are awesome, but there's the potential for long hours, maybe lower pay in some spots. It's about finding the right fit for you.
Totally. What stands out to you the most?
You know, I think it all comes back to knowing yourself. Like, are you a high energy, fast paced person, or do you prefer something more chill?
Good point. And thinking long term, where could this role actually lead?
Well, a career guide actually outlines some pretty cool paths. You could move into supervisory roles, event planning, even become a travel agent.
Wow, so many possibilities. But first, let's nail that interview. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be your secret weapon.
Oh, yeah, it analyzes those job descriptions and helps you tailor your resume, beats those automated systems, and gets you noticed.
Because let's be real, those job descriptions can be overwhelming, right? But okay, imagine you've landed the interview. Now what?
Time for the real prep. RoleCatcher's interview guide and their questions repository are key here.
And we're going to dive deep into some potential questions, giving you the strategies to craft those killer answers.
Exactly. So let's jump in. First question. Can you tell us about your previous experience in the hospitality industry?
Seems pretty straightforward, but what are they really getting at here?
They want to see those transferable skills in action. Have you dealt with customers, handled pressure, worked on a team?
So don't just list jobs, highlight the skills. Any pitfalls to avoid here?
Definitely don't ramble on about unrelated stuff or badmouth past employers. Concise and positive is key.
Right, focus on those positive takeaways. And here's a sample response to get you started. In my previous role as a barista, I developed strong customer service skills, learned to work efficiently under pressure, and gained valuable experience in conflict resolution skills I believe would be highly valuable in a hostess role.
Make it your own, though, right? Exactly. It's all about showing, not just telling. All right, next up. How would you handle a customer complaint or a difficult situation at the restaurant?
Ooh, we've all had those nightmare customer moments, but how do you frame those experiences in a way that actually showcases your strengths?
It's about your problem-solving approach. Did you listen actively? Did you empathize? Did you find a solution that worked for everyone?
So it's not about being right, it's about navigating those tricky situations with grace. Any big no-nos here?
Yeah, avoid getting defensive, even if the customer is being totally unreasonable. Calm, cool, and solution-oriented. That's the vibe.
Got it. Here's a sample response, but again, personalize it. I would first actively listen to the customer's complaint, acknowledging their frustration. I'd then apologize for any inconvenience and offer a solution within my authority. If the issue requires escalation, I would inform a manager while ensuring the customer feels heard and respected. What do you think?
Perfect. It hits all the key points: active listening, problem solving, and knowing when to bring in the cavalry.
All right, let's crank up the pressure. How would you prioritize your duties as a host-hostess during a busy shift? Imagine phones ringing, people lining up. How do you handle the chaos?
Organization and quick thinking are key here. They want to see that you can juggle those guest needs while staying on top of everything.
So how do we structure a response that screams, I'm a master multitasker?
First, acknowledge guest satisfaction is everything. Then, outline your system, prioritize seating, manage the waitlist, then tackle those administrative tasks.
And avoid sounding flustered. It's all about that calm, under pressure vibe. Any sample response that illustrates this?
Here's one. During a busy shift, my top priority would always be ensuring guests are greeted and seated promptly. I'd then focus on managing the wait list effectively, keeping guests informed, and ensuring fair seating rotation. Administrative tasks would be handled efficiently during lulls or as time allows. See how that showcases both guest focus and workflow understanding.
It really does. It paints a picture of someone who's got it handled. Okay, question number 4. Can you explain how you would greet and seat guests at the restaurant? Seems basic, but it's all about those details, right?
Totally. Go beyond the robotic table for two. Think genuine smile, eye contact, warm greeting, make them feel welcome.
Right, because those nonverbals speak volumes. And what about actually seating them?
Clarify their needs, reservation or walk-in. Any preferences, dietary restrictions, be attentive and make them feel seen.
And avoid that rushed, impatient vibe. Every guest should feel like a VIP. How's this for a sample response? I would greet each guest with a warm smile, making eye contact and offering a friendly welcome. I'd inquire about their reservation status, party size, and any preferences they might have. Then I'd escort them to their table, ensuring they're comfortable and providing menus.
Nailed it. It's all about turning a transaction into a positive experience.
Okay, let's talk wait lists. How do you ensure the restaurant's wait list is managed effectively? Organization and communication, especially when things get crazy.
Absolutely. They want to know you can keep things running smoothly and keep guests informed, even if they're waiting.
So how do we approach this?
Highlight your system. Digital or old school list, the key is a clear process. And emphasize communication. How do you keep guests updated? Manage those changing wait times.
And fairness is so important, right? You don't want to sound like you'd play favorites.
Totally. Here's a sample. I would maintain an accurate wait list, clearly noting names, party sizes, and estimated wait times. I'd communicate regularly with guests, providing updates and managing expectations. I'd also ensure fairness in seating, adhering to the order of the list, and accommodating special requests whenever possible. How does that sound?
Great. It really creates a sense of order and control. Okay, let's get a little techie. Can you describe your experience with reservation management software? These systems are crucial nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Restaurants rely on them for bookings, table management, even customer insights. They want tech-savvy people.
So how do we show that without getting too technical?
Name specific software you've used. Outline your tasks. Maybe share a quick story about a challenge you overcame using the system.
What if you haven't used the exact software they mention?
No worries. Highlight general computer skills. Willingness to learn new systems. Adaptability is huge in a tech-driven world.
Good point. Here's a sample. Personalize as needed. I'm proficient in using OpenTable for managing reservations, assigning tables, and tracking guest preferences. In my previous role, I successfully implemented a new online booking system, which streamlined the reservation process and improved customer satisfaction.
Nice. Blend specific skills with a real accomplishment. Okay, now let's talk about keeping things sparkling clean. How do you ensure the restaurant's cleanliness standards are maintained throughout the shift?
It's not just about wiping tables, it's a mindset, right?
Exactly. Taking pride in creating that clean, welcoming space. Being proactive and taking ownership, even when things get crazy busy.
So what should we highlight here?
Your commitment to cleanliness. Mention regular checks for spills, sanitizing tables, tidying common areas. You see it as an ongoing responsibility.
Right, not just something you do when told.
Exactly. Here's a good response. I believe cleanliness is crucial to a positive dining experience. I would regularly check and sanitize tables, ensure floors are clean and clear of hazards, and maintain a tidy and welcoming atmosphere throughout the restaurant.
It shows you're actively creating that inviting space. Okay, tricky situation time. How do you handle a situation where a guest is unhappy with their dining experience? This is where those conflict resolution skills come in.
Right, it's about de-escalating, empathizing, finding a solution that leaves the guest feeling heard and respected, even if they were initially upset.
What's the key here?
Acknowledge their concerns. Say something like, I understand you're unhappy with, then apologize for any inconvenience, no matter what. It diffuses tension.
Validation before solutions.
Well, exactly. Then offer a solution within your authority, a remade meal, a comp dessert, even just a sincere apology and a listening ear.
And of course, knowing when to involve the manager is crucial. Don't overpromise.
Agreed. Here's a good sample. I would first listen attentively to the guests' concerns, acknowledging their frustration. I'd apologize for any inconvenience and offer a solution within my ability, such as offering a replacement dish or a discount. If the issue requires further attention, I would involve a manager while ensuring the guest feels heard and respected. What do you think?
Perfect. Empathy, problem solving, knowing when to tag in, help you nailed it.
Teamwork.
Haha, exactly. Okay, this one's important. Can you explain how you would handle a situation where a guest has a food allergy or dietary restriction? Guest safety first, always.
It's showing you understand how serious this is and that you're ready to take the right steps to ensure everyone's safe and happy.
So, what are the key points here?
Emphasize taking allergies and dietary restrictions seriously. Explain your process for communicating those needs to the kitchen, avoiding cross-contamination, mentioning relevant training. It all builds trust.
And definitely avoid any hint of, like, brushing it off or not taking it seriously.
For sure. Here's a sample. I understand the importance of accommodating food allergies and dietary restrictions. I would carefully note the guests' needs, communicate them clearly to the kitchen staff, and ensure their meal is prepared separately to avoid any cross-contamination. I'd also double-check with the guest before serving their meal to ensure their complete satisfaction and peace of mind. What do you think?
Love it. You're not just taking orders, you're advocating for their well-being. All right, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have, but there's more to come.
When we come back, we'll tackle even more challenging interview questions and explore how RoleCatcher's AI can help you refine those answers and really boost your confidence.
Welcome back to our Host-Hostess interview deep dive. Ready for more question action?
Oh yeah, we're just getting warmed up. Remember, we want to hear from you too. What experiences would you share? What makes you the perfect fit?
Love that. Okay, let's jump into a question that can be kind of tricky. Tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult coworker. How did you handle the situation? It's not about those customer interactions anymore.
Right, it's those team dynamics that can get complicated. How do we navigate this one without, like, bad-mouthing anyone?
Focus on your actions. Did you communicate openly and respectfully? Did you try to see their point of view? Did you find a solution that worked for everyone?
And definitely avoid blaming or getting personal. Show that maturity in problem solving.
Exactly. Here's a sample. In a previous role, I had a coworker who often left tasks unfinished, which put extra pressure on the rest of the team. Instead of complaining, I approached them directly and expressed my concerns in a calm and respectful manner. We were able to clarify expectations and establish a system that ensured tasks were completed efficiently. All about those positive outcomes.
Right. You're not afraid to address conflict, but you do it constructively. Okay, how about this one? What are your weaknesses? Everyone's got them, right?
Absolutely. Be honest, but choose a weakness that you're actively working on. Like maybe you're a perfectionist who sometimes overthinks things.
Or maybe you're not a natural public speaker, but you're taking steps to improve.
Exactly. Self-awareness plus a growth mindset. Here's an example. I can be a bit too detail-oriented at times, which can sometimes slow me down. However, I've been working on techniques to prioritize tasks and manage my time more effectively. What do you think?
Love it. It's about acknowledging those areas for growth and showing you're proactive. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Why are you interested in this particular hostess role? Time to show that passion.
And connect your skills to this specific opportunity. Go beyond the generic, I like people, and show what really excites you about this place. Did you check out their website, their reviews, maybe even dine there?
Do your research, right? The more specific, the better.
Totally. Like, I'm drawn to this restaurant's reputation for exceptional customer service and its dedication to creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. I believe my passion for hospitality and my experience in creating memorable dining experiences would make me a valuable asset to your team. See how that ties everything together.
It shows you're invested, not just looking for any job. Okay, let's talk about curveballs. Describe a time you had to deal with a last-minute change or unexpected situation at work. How did you adapt? Things rarely go perfectly right.
Never. And employers want to see you can handle those unexpected moments. Think about a specific situation, explain what happened, and focus on the actions you took to solve the problem. Highlight that positive outcome.
And don't dwell on the negative or blame others. Stay solution-oriented.
Here's a sample response. In my previous role, we once had a large group arrive unexpectedly without a reservation. Instead of panicking, I quickly assessed the situation, rearranged tables, and communicated clearly with both the guests and the kitchen staff. In the end, everyone was seated comfortably and enjoyed their meal, turning stress into success.
Exactly. Okay, teamwork time. Describe a situation where you had to work as part of a team to achieve a goal. What was your role, and what did you learn from the experience? This is where those collaboration skills shine.
Hostessing isn't always solo. You're part of a bigger team. So choose a relevant experience, outline your contributions, and highlight those teamwork skills.
And it's not about taking all the credit. Show you understand the power of collaboration.
Right. Here's an example. In my previous role, we were tasked with organizing a large event. I was responsible for coordinating with the catering team, ensuring all dietary restrictions were met, and managing the seating arrangements. We worked closely together, communicated effectively, and ultimately delivered a successful and memorable event. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
For sure. Okay, let's test your industry knowledge.
That's right.
What are some current trends in the hospitality industry that you find interesting? Time to show you're passionate and informed.
This is where your research comes in handy. Read those industry publications, follow blogs, know what's happening locally.
So what kind of trends should we focus on?
Trends that directly affect the guest experience. Things like personalized service, technology integration, sustainability, maybe even mention specific examples of places doing cool things.
Right. Stay relevant and avoid getting too broad.
Exactly. Like, I'm fascinated by the growing trend of using technology to personalize the dining experience. Apps that allow guests to order ahead, customize their meals, or provide feedback in real time are creating a more interactive and engaging dining experience. What do you think?
It shows you're thinking about the bigger picture, not just the day-to-day.
Okay.
Okay, last question for this round. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Time to talk goals.
It's all about showing that ambition, that drive, this host-hostess role. It's a stepping stone, right?
So how do we strike that balance between ambitious and realistic?
Align your goals with the growth potential within the company or the industry. Maybe you see yourself in a leadership role, specializing in events, or even opening your own place someday.
And avoid being too vague. Show you've got a plan, you're committed to learning and growing.
Here's a sample response. In 5 years, I see myself in a supervisory role within the hospitality industry, using my experience and leadership skills to motivate and mentor a team. I'm eager to learn and grow, and I believe this hostess role would provide a strong foundation for my future career aspirations. What do you think?
Love it. Ambition, a clear path, and a commitment to growth. That's what we like to hear. All right, welcome back. We've talked about the role, tackled those tough interview questions. Now it's time to unlock the power of RoleCatcher's AI.
Think of it as like your secret weapon for interview success. We've been talking about transferable skills.
Yeah.
And this is where it all comes together.
Right. It's like having a personalized coach. But instead of generic advice, it's analyzing your responses, your tone, even your word choice.
And it gives you feedback based on what hiring managers are actually looking for, tailored to the specific job you're applying for.
That's so cool. So you're not just sounding good, you're sounding right for the role.
Exactly. It's like having someone in your corner pointing out those little things you might miss. And speaking of coaching, RoleCatcher's video practice feature is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's like a dress rehearsal, but without the pressure. You record yourself answering questions, then get instant feedback from the AI.
On your delivery, body language, everything. It's a safe space to practice, make mistakes, and find what works for you.
And that practice builds confidence, right? You start anticipating questions, your answers flow more naturally, you project that calm, collected vibe.
Absolutely. It's the difference between like fumbling through a speech and delivering a TED Talk. Preparation is key.
Totally. But it's not about memorizing answers, right? It's about understanding those core principles, showcasing those skills, letting your personality shine.
Be authentically you, but the best, most interview-ready version of yourself. And that's what RoleCatcher helps you do.
So to all those future hostess superstars out there, remember, you've got this. You have the skills, the passion, and with RoleCatcher, you have the confidence to rock that interview.
Go out there and shine. We're rooting for you.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the world of host-hostess interviews. We hope you found it helpful, inspiring, maybe even a little bit fun. Remember, preparation, practice, and confidence are your keys to success. So go out there and make those first impressions count.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep learning.